There are some people out there that are very good at making money, but for some reason, they never manage to become rich. They work hard every day, but no matter how much they earn, money seems to just slip through their fingers. You ever wonder why? Well, the answer is by no means simple, but it has a lot to do with what we like to call bad money habits. And believe us when we say you don't want to ignore them unless you want to remain stuck in the loop that keeps most people average. So why not prevent that by watching this video? Here are 15 bad money habits that you need to break immediately. Number 1, impulsive buying. Now, we feel like this should be at the top of the list because a lot of people are simply unaware of it. We all feel this habit creeping up every single day when we leave our houses. Impulse buying is the act of purchasing something without initially planning to do so. Imagine you're at a grocery store to buy some bread and milk. You end up with a new type of cookie that you see at the checkout. That is impulse buying, an unplanned decision to buy a product right before the purchase. It often happens because something caught your eye or you felt a sudden urge to own that product. And there are many factors that can trigger impulse buying. One common trigger is emotional states like stress or excitement, which can make you more susceptible to making a spontaneous purchase. Other times, it's the result of effective marketing strategies, like having enticing items at the checkout line or offering limited-time discounts that create a sense of urgency. Social media and online shopping have also made impulse buying easier with ads tailored specifically to your interests with one-click purchases. Yes, marketing agencies have mastered the art of triggering this habit in people. And make no mistake, okay, impulse buying can significantly affect your financial life. While a small, unplanned purchase might seem harmless, if it's perpetuated, well, you're just going to end up buying a lot of unnecessary things. And then you might find yourself in a situation where you're living paycheck to paycheck or have no money in an emergency fund. Remember, if you want to achieve your financial goals, you'd better understand your own biology. Number 2, keeping up with the Joneses. Now, this one might sound familiar to some of you, but just in case you don't know what we're referring to, keeping up with the Joneses is a phrase used to describe the desire to emulate or surpass others' lifestyles or possessions, particularly to maintain a, how should we call it, equivalent social status. For example, if your neighbor buys a new luxurious car, you might feel pressure to buy a similar or even more expensive car, even if you don't need one, just to show that you're on the same social or economic level as them. Which sounds superficial and destructive, right? Yeah, that's because it is. The Joneses can be your friends, relatives, colleagues, or even celebrities you see on social media or TV, which we hope you don't watch too much. Okay, so what triggers it then? Well, you've certainly heard us mention this before. It's called social comparison, a natural human tendency to evaluate oneself in relation to others. And this is further amplified by societal norms and advertising that push the narrative that we must constantly upgrade our lifestyle, possessions, and experiences to be happy or successful. Now, if you feel like you might be affected by this habit, you might want to take a break from social media apps and focus on your journey and process in the real world. Remember, most people are not as happy as they pretend to be, and most likely, you wouldn't want their life if you knew what's actually going on behind the scenes. Number 3, living beyond your means. This bad money habit is the most common out there, but at the same time, it's the easiest one to fix. Now you might say, "Hey Lux, but how do I know if I actually am living beyond my means?" Well, it's pretty easy to figure it out. Take a piece of paper and write down all of your monthly expenses. Do your expenditures exceed your income, your honest expenditures? If the answer is yes, well, it means that you are. And this is not advisable because it can lead to financial problems such as debt, bankruptcy, and a lack of savings for emergency or future goals. Overspending often creates a cycle where you're constantly trying to catch up with bills and expenses, leaving no room for financial growth or stability. And a lack of financial security can also cause significant stress and anxiety, and these can lead to other serious health problems. A sharp awareness of where you are now in life and how much you can afford will definitely serve you well. Number 4, paying only the minimum amount on your credit card. This feature exists as a part of a service for a reason. And while only paying the minimum amount might seem like an attractive option, especially when you're short on cash, it can actually cost you a lot in the long run. And that's because, surprise, surprise, the remaining balance you didn't pay off will be subject to high interest rates. This is not some kind of benevolent free feature, it's there by design to trap you. The credit card company charges this interest every month when the balance remains unpaid. So this means the longer you take to pay off your balance, the more money you end up owing because of the accumulating interest. So to make it simple, imagine you borrowed a book from a friend, but you didn't return it for a long time.